Okay, so today we're going to be talking about ionic compounds with polyatomic ions. So everybody needs to get out their notes that you should have taken yesterday, because we're going to use those notes. So those are all about polyatomic ions. If you did not take them, today is going to make no sense to you at all. So at some point in time, so just write down these and you'll have to go back because you need that list of polyatomic ions. That is the only way you'll ever get them. And if you want to use them on the test, you got to have them written down. Okay? So let's start out with, we're going to be writing writing formulas of compounds. So we're going to start out with aluminum phosphate. Now everybody needs their periodic table out, either a hard copy or pull it up on your computer, but the one that's shaded. Okay? So you'll need that. And let me get out of this way. So aluminum, if you look on the periodic table, what's the charge on aluminum? Somebody?
+3.
+3. Now phosphate. What's the formula for phosphate and what is the charge on phosphate? From your notes yesterday.
PO4 with a -3 charge.
Yep, PO4, 3 minus. So, and I'm going to be using little manipulatives. So this is aluminum, and this is PO4. And because they have the same exact charge, they cancel out. So AlPO4 is the formula for aluminum phosphate. Okay? Pretty easy so far, right? Nothing difficult? Okay, let's try another one. Let's try copper 2 sulfate. So copper 2 sulfate. So somebody tell me the charge on copper.
+2.
+2. What is the formula and charge of sulfate?
SO4 with a -2 charge.
Correct. SO4 with a -2 charge. So, once again, just like the other one, they cancel out. So your charges cancel out, so you get CuSO4. Okay? Let's do one that's a little harder. These off to the side. These don't always erase really well. Okay, so the next one we'll do is potassium carbonate. Now, what is the charge on potassium?
+1.
+1. So we just write it as a K with a plus at the top. So here's my K, here's my potassium. What is the formula, somebody besides Nathan, what's the formula and charge for carbonate?
CO2 -.
Yep. So I am going to, now notice it doesn't go one to one. In fact, it takes 2 potassiums. That 2 goes to here. So it's K2CO2. Because there's nothing there, so we don't have to cross over anything with that one. Okay? Still pretty easy, right? Nothing you hadn't been doing before. Okay. So let's do iron 3 nitrate. Okay. What is the charge on iron? On this iron?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. Now, what is the formula and charge for nitrate?
NO3 with a -1 charge.
NO3 with a negative sign. So that means it's this. Now notice here, it's going to take more than one to balance out this iron. How many nitrates are there?
3.
3. Okay? So how we write that is we use parentheses. Okay? That 3 is going here. We have to I'm telling you that there are 3 NO3s. If you just change that 3 to a 9, which some people do, that's still 1 N with 3 or with 9 O's. So that's not correct. There are 3 of these NO3s here. Okay? So we have to use parentheses to say that there's more than one polyatomic ion. And that's the only way we can do that. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's try ammonium. Hydroxide. No, let's not do hydroxide. Let's do ammonium. Oxalate. Okay. So what is the formula and charge of ammonium? Anybody know? It was the very first one I gave you once I was giving you the list of
NH4 with a plus 1
sign.
charge.
Right. NH4 with a plus. So I'm going to put it on here. And what about oxalate?
C2O4 with a -2 charge.
Correct. C2O4. Okay. So notice we need more than one NH4. Okay. So this 2 goes here, but nothing goes here. So because ammonium is a polyatomic ion, even though they're both polyatomic ions, you have to put the ammonium in parentheses. Got to have those parentheses for all the ones, all the polyatomic ions when there's more than one. Okay, I'm going to have you guys try this one on your own, this next one, and then I'll show you how to do it. See if it's right or wrong. So let's do let's see, calcium hydroxide. Okay, well we know calcium is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No OH is that. So how would you write calcium hydroxide? How do we write that? Anybody know? Besides Nathan.
I don't think I know it.
Well,
CA.
you put parentheses around the OH and 2 there. A lot of kids will write it like this. Why is that wrong?
Because it's the OH is a polyatomic ion.
Correct. Because this is this. 2 H's and 1 O attached to a calcium. That's not what it looks like. It's that. So do not write that. That is way wrong. Okay, let's do a couple more and then we'll be done. And there are no practice problems tonight. The practice problems will be given to you tomorrow in class. So I'll have them on the board and then you'll be working them in class and then just as if you were here. And then if you're having troubles with it, I can put the answers on the board. So let's do one more. Let's do vanadium peroxide. Now this one I don't have a manipulative I can use. So vanadium 5 peroxide. Actually, we'll do 2 more. We'll do this one and another one. Okay. I want somebody to give me the formula for vanadium 5 peroxide. I know it. It's not that hard, guys.
Well, vanadium is V with a +5 charge.
Okay, correct.
Peroxide is O2 with a -2, which I would assume would be in parentheses, right?
Well, right now that's the charges.
Oh, okay.
Remember, you gotta cross the numbers over. So the 2 goes with the vanadium, the 5 goes over here. Okay? Yeah, one more, and this one's a little harder. Okay, we're gonna do lead 4 sulfate. Oops, that's not how you spell lead. What's the formula for lead 4 sulfate?
Well, lead has a +4 charge,
Correct?
and sulfate is SO4 with a -2.
So what would the formula be?
Wouldn't the 2 cross over from the SO to the PB?
Just give me the formula. What do you think it is?
PB2 SO4.
1 SO4 with 2 PBs? No. So if you cross the 2 over, what happened to the 4? You got to cross it over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not the formula though. What's wrong with this?
You could go divide 2 on the 4.
Correct. So here's your PB with your +4. It only takes 2 SO4s to combine with it, PB. So it's PB, so this is divided by 2, and this is divided by 2. So it's PB SO4 2. So you still have to divide. Now, you don't do anything with this SO4. This SO4, kind of like this PO4. Remember from that thing? PO4, it's connected, it's one thing. SO4 would be the S in the middle. It's SO4. That's one thing. Those 4 oxygens do not come off of there. And there's 2 of these to go with 1 PB. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now at this point, I'm going to ask, are there any questions?
No, it seems pretty easy.
Does everybody understand it?
Yes.
Okay, now's the time to ask questions though, if you have any. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. As I said, tomorrow, you're done for today. Just I need you to upload these notes. Well, actually, I don't have an assignment yet. I've got to make an assignment. I'll make an assignment in a few minutes so you can upload the notes. Okay? Just so I can see that you've got them, you did them. And then tomorrow, the worksheet won't be a worksheet. It's going to be listed on the board. So you'll have to write them down and work on them. And then I'll have an answer key for it too. Okay? Okay, guys, so that's it. You guys are all free to go. It was a quick class today.
See you, Miss Evans.
See you guys.